So there's an ocean, right? There's an ocean, there's a boat, and there's you. You're doing some deep sea diving with a tether. So, you get your gear on, get your oxygen tank on, get all your sensory apparatus going, do all the double checks of all the machinery that's going to help you stay alive down there. And you get the okay from the dive master that's okay to hop over, and you hop over, and you have your little line that's attached to you, and you go down. You go down to the ocean. You go down really far. Now, what can happen when you're deep sea diving is you forget some things. You can become a little discombobulated. And also, from what I hear, it's really peaceful down there. And sometimes people get down there and they're like, this is great. I could stay here forever. So quiet. Nobody's bothering me. So your dive master up there, that's source, God, that's spirit. He knows what's going on. You, as a diver, okay, you're diving down to the Earth ship, into the duality, sensory, limited perspective experience. And you can go down there really deep and kind of forget what's going on. And the problem is sometimes you might get down there and you're like, this is great. This is really going good. That dude up there, I don't even need him anymore. I mean, I can just pull my way up the rope. And some of the problems that could arise are some things that he knows about that you don't know about, that you still think you know about because, you know everything. And, your oxygen tank might be running low and you don't notice it. And it takes a certain amount of time to be able to safely ascend to the surface without getting the bends and without getting oxygen poisoning or whatever that's called. Or there might be a shark coming along, and the guy up top can echolocate it and let you know that it's time to come back up. And you can't see it because you can't see far enough. Or, you might just say, hey, this just feels way too peaceful. Or you might not say anything. You just fall into a stupor because your brain isn't working very good anymore down there. All that pressure is sitting on top of you, and your brain isn't quite functioning as well as it used to. And so he's your lifeline. The guy up top is your lifeline. So that's your source, that's your spirit, that's your God, and that's just the help. It's very simple. That's the help. In our limited, distorted state, here in the Earth ship, with all the memory erased, the spirit, God source, that's just the help. And, you can use it or not. You can say, fuck you, I'm going to snip this cord. Like, that's an option. That's an available option to you. But it's conceivably better if you utilize the help that's available. And when you're down there underneath, the guy's not like yelling sounds. He's not speaking to you directly. He's communicating with code or with certain signals on the rope. And you might say, hey, I want this book to read while I'm down here that describes in minute detail every single thing that I ought to do, when that's not how it works. It just works by a system of codes and signs and rope tugs signaling, kind of like that. And you can utilize the help, or you can not utilize the help. Those are two options that are available to you. And of course, there's lots of other options. You can say, well, I want to have help from you sometimes, and fuck off some other times. You know, you can play that game however you want. Or you can say, I don't want any help whatsoever. Or you can just ignore the whole topic altogether. And people get caught up because we have all these Abrahamic religions going around with the angry sky daddy god that's just basically being mean to everybody and dividing up the population into who's gonna make it and who isn't gonna make it. And we have, you know, Yaldabaoth and you know, Sophia's ill-begotten son that did his own thing, and little G God, and you know, we don't like him very much, so we're like, man, we don't need help from him. But then we're disregarding the true help, like the actual help that isn't giving all these it's not imposing on you so heavily as the little G God. And so we categorize the real source or the true help along in the same category as that little G God that's just basically being like a mean kid with a magnifying glass on the anthill. And then we cut ourselves off completely from the real help, and we need it because we're completely limited and we can't see anything and we don't know anything here. So it doesn't matter what you call this God source spirit thing. The names are completely irrelevant. That's just the duality game that everybody gets caught up in when they investigate the Abrahamic religions. And the true source God is available directly within you because you're directly connected to it. And we can't see the tether necessarily, but it's there if you look for it, if you search within. And being that we're playing the distortion game, we're all the options are available to us as to whether or not we want to utilize the help. And sometimes, you know, if we say we don't want it, you know, you might get eaten by a shark. You know, that's available. That's an available option to you. I utilize the help. I do it in my own way. I don't do it in the religion way, and I see the results from it. My advice would be to utilize the help, but that, you know, it's a free will realm, so you can do whatever you want. That's a little bit of my thoughts on God Source Spirit. The less names and restrictions you place upon that, the more power you will receive from that.